Hello friends, let's talk about Project Charter. Project Charter is the first document that is created when a project is initiated. A project charter is a formal short document that states a project exists and provides project manager with written authority to begin work. Project Charter also indicates why the project exists, its objective and constraints of the project. It also includes high-level details of stakeholder, risk associated with the project, and the budget that is allocated to the project. Let's talk about project constraints. Any limitation or restriction placed on a project is a constraint. The triple constraint theory says that every project will include three constraints: cost, time, and scope. And these constraints are tied to each other. Any change made to one of the triple constraints will have an impact on other. As in recent years, it has been identified that not only these three constraints are basically responsible for project success, but we have few additional constraints which impact the project. These are quality, risk, and benefit. The triple constraint of the project management has been given many names: the project management triangle, iron triangle, and project triangle are few of them. Let's talk about scope creep and gold plating. While both scope creep and gold plating involves adding extra features to a project or initiative, these terms have slightly different meanings. Scope creep refers to uncontrolled change in scope. This can be because of interference from the customer or a misunderstanding by the project management team. One small creeping change begets another small changes, and before you know, the scope has expanded way beyond the original agreement. Scope creep affects the project objectives negatively when changes are made to the product or project without thorough analysis. Let's see what gold plating is. Gold plating is adding extra functions or features to the product intentionally which were not involved and defined in the original scope. In other words, gold plating is giving the customer more than what they are looking for. Gold plating may sound like great customer service, but it is bad for the project. Gold plating can increase the cost and risk and delay the schedule. It increases the client expectation. So with gold plating, what can happen bad is when you had already gold plated few of the requirements, in the next iterations when you are going to deal with customer, they expect the same, that you will deliver more what they are looking for. So it can impact the cost, schedule, and overall scope of the project. Let's talk about contingency plan. A contingency plan in project management is a defined, actionable plan that is to be enacted if an identified risk become reality. It is essentially a plan B to be put in place when things go differently than expected. Having a contingency plan means that not only do you have the potential risk in mind, but are also fully prepared to deal with it. In project management, in particular, a contingency plan refers to an action plan for a risk when it actually occurs. Let's talk about contingency reserve. Contingency reserve is a fund added to the cost baseline against identified risk. They are used to develop risk response strategies and mitigate the effect of known unknown, that is identified risk. Simply, we can say that contingency reserve is a planned amount of fund, time, or resources which is added to an estimate for the risk that might happen. Contingency reserve are involved in the performance measurement baseline, and the project manager has the authority to use when identified risk happen. Let's see what management reserve is. Management reserve is used to develop risk response strategies against the unknown unknown. Management reserve are not part of performance measurement baseline. These reserves are not estimated using the techniques, but are allocated based on the organization norms. Management reserve are under the control of higher management, and the project manager does not have authority over these reserves. Use of these reserves cannot be done at the project management discretion. A formal request should be raised and it should be approved for using these reserves. Management reserve are money added to the project overall budget by the senior management for uncertain events. Next, we have SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for Strengths, Weakness, Opportunities, and Threats. It's a strategic planning technique that project managers use to help them analyze their project strengths and weaknesses, as well as to analyze and review any opportunities and threats they may face in the upcoming future. SWOT analysis is a simple yet effective process for identifying positive and negative forces at work that can affect the successful completion of the project. SWOT analysis allows the project leader to assess areas that are working well and areas that need improvement. Next terminology that we have is risk mitigation. Risk mitigation refers to the process of planning and developing methods and options to reduce threats or risk. At its simplest, risk mitigation lowers exposure to risk or moderates the adverse effect. A slightly more complete risk mitigation definition is defining preventive and reactive action plans for reducing the likelihood of risk or damage from risk. Let's talk about change control board. In software development projects and programs, a change control board is a committee that consists of subject matter experts and managers who ensures and decide whether to implement proposed change to a project or not. A change control board, also known as configuration control board, is a group of individuals mostly found in software related projects. The group is responsible for recommending or making decisions on requested changes to baseline work. These changes may affect requirement, features, code, or infrastructure. Poor change control can significantly impact the project in terms of scope, cost, time, risk, and benefits. Therefore, it is crucial that change control board members are sufficiently equipped with information, experience, and support necessary to make the best decisions. Let's talk about the term slack. In project management, the terms slack and float describe the length of time that an activity can be delayed without delaying the finish date of subsequent activity. The term are most commonly applied to network analysis technique known as critical path method. It is the amount of time an activity can be delayed without impacting other activities of the project.